Hello and welcome to Business Live. Coming up, bond market records a decrease of 52.7% year-on-year in volume traded in 2023 as domestic debt exchange program continues to bite the market. Also, Ecobank Ghana tops retail banking segment's ability to resolve customer resolution. We'll hear from the 2023 KPMG West Africa Banking Industry Customer Experience Survey. Ratings agency Moody's warns that digital finance will encounter 4 key hurdles in 2024 as it gains traction. In the next 30 minutes, you have these and many more. Welcome, I am Emma Davis. A look at our stories. Finance professor at the Andrews University, Williams Papa, says governments will have to put in the necessary efforts to convince Ghana's official creditors to restructure some $5.4 billion in loans. With Ghana's official creditors set to meet on Monday, Professor Papa says governments will have to cross that hurdle in order to restore the country's economic growth. He spoke to Joy Business.
Ask me, we may have to go in with a figure in mind to negotiate the 5.4 billion that we want. So whatever cutoff date that's been approved, we should be able to convince these external creditors that the 5.4 is what may help our economy to come back to be able to pay to be able to help us to complete our restructuring program. So whatever cutoff dates that may be agreed by each of the parties, whether those in the Paris Club or China, the aim should be on the 5.4 billion. That should be the kind of discussion, because each of the cutoff dates will have a different figure that will be lower than the 5.4 that Ghana is anticipating to have. I mean, the Paris Club, as I've mentioned, they may have to take a position, a collective position, before they come and meet the Chinese. Already the Chinese, they have also studied the entire situation, and they are looking at how this restructuring is not going to affect their financial position in China. China depends on interest income as a major revenue for their country. So any kind of restructuring that will let them lose interest income is not probably acceptable to them. So that is why we see that maybe the Paris Club will are meeting today to take a collective position. And then when they bring China on board, they will now listen to what China will say on Monday. And probably we may come to see 2 different positions because the Chinese will also table their agenda. And Ghana may have to accept the 2 and see how much they'll be able to get in terms of restructuring from China and also from the Paris Club. When they sum or add the 2, they should come close to the $5.4 billion that Ghana is anticipating to get.
Ecobank Ghana topped the retail banking segment's ability to resolve issues of turning a poor customer experience into a great one. That's according to the 2023 KPMG West Africa Banking Industry Customer Experience Survey. CalBank also claimed the top position in the small and medium enterprises segment. There's more in this Business Desk report. Customers of Ecobank commended the bank for reasonable wait times when contacting the call center and prompt handling of issues, often surpassing their expectations. The customers also praised the bank for delivering proactive and prompt support, particularly on its digital platforms. UBA Ghana secured the second position, experiencing a slight drop of 1 place from its previous ranking. It excelled in the empathy pillar, particularly with respect to professionalism among its staff. Prudential Bank, a newcomer among the top 5, demonstrated noteworthy performance in the personalization, time and effort pillars. In the SME segment, the integrity pillar had the highest customer experience score. Cal Bank came tops with customers' experience satisfaction, primarily with the quick handling of requests, streamlined branch experiences without long queues, and the security of their transactions. It was followed closely by Zenith Bank, impressing customers with the professionalism and attitude demonstrated by the bank's staff and relationship managers. Stanbic Bank placed third. In the corporate segment, Standard Chartered Bank emerged as the market leader, receiving commendation for its tailored services, advisory offerings, and foreign exchange services, among other areas. As Ghana strives towards digitizing the economy, the acceptance of emerging technology and innovations in business processes remain critical, according to David Ofori, Head of Innovation at the National Entrepreneurship and Innovation Program. Many startups are creating amazing digital innovations, which, when adopted by businesses, could boost efficiency. He further urged businesses, especially small and medium enterprises, to embrace such innovative solutions to increase productivity and ensure Ghana remains competitive in the African trade.
If you look at what we did with mobile money in the fintech space, what drove the success of it is not too much regulation from the outset, so that you allow things to be adopted and it sinks in, then you can come with the regulation, because regulation sometimes can be a massive inhibitor of innovation. So if you look at even our central bank, the Bank of Ghana has a sandbox to allow fintechs to innovate, but in what you call in a safe space. So before something comes out, it's been tested in a way we see the fallout and all of that. And I think we should adopt the same thing with emerging technologies, so that we don't kill the innovation aspect of it. Because otherwise, like Emmanuel said, we won't get the full benefit of that technology. It's still early days. What we are doing well is sensitize and also have the discussion around the responsibility for everybody in the space. So even with AI, we have what we call a responsible AI. Because now we've seen in recent times how people are using AI to do things to young children and create all sort of images about them. So these have to guide us, and we have to pick lessons from other societies. But we shouldn't kill our own progress, because what is happening in other societies does not mean that it will happen here. We need to build our own unique data sets. Emmanuel mentioned that. We need tons of it. AI feeds on data. We also need infrastructure like data centers, because where is our data being held? That's crucial. If you're talking about data sovereignty, data latency, all of that meant that to have that unique African data set, unique Ghanaian data set, it has to be stored within our own jurisdiction or within our own control, so that who handles our data, we have a control over that. I'm always for policy, I'm always for regulation, but regulation have to be tamed so that we allow innovation to really sprout out and really grow. But as Emmanuel mentioned earlier, we provide guidelines. We just have to be self-check on us as a people. What do we want? What do we need? Because we've not fully even appreciated the enormity and the scale of these emerging technologies. There's a lot more things that it does. If we go into the area of machine learning, that's even a whole new minefield. So I would want to say that as a country, we take advantage of the high growth jobs that comes with it, like that, the data scientists, the data analytics, so that we go into these fields, so that the more of our own people we have as professionals in this area, they have a loyalty to Ghana.
Ratings agency Moody's is warning that digital finance will encounter 4 key hurdles in 2024 as it gains traction. Its analysts therefore expect slow but steady progress in addressing challenges including lack of interoperability, lack of reliable digital cash options, regulatory uncertainty, and technology risks. Furthermore, it said its key takeaways on digital finance for the year ahead include security and regulatory concerns. Again, the cryptocurrency market's revival hinges on monetary policy and meeting regulatory standards. In 2023, Bitcoin and Ether made cryptocurrencies the top performing asset class. Let me take you to the Ashanti region as some car owners in the region, dealers and importers are criticizing the new online registration system introduced by the Driver and Vehicle Licensing Authority. At the Ashanti Regional Office of DVLA, applicants hoping to register their new cars are left in a dilemma over issues of network cuts and complex registration processes. Setbacks in the new online system have influenced lower registration numbers at the DVLA office in Kumasi. Here's a report by Clinton Yeboah.
Driver and Vehicle Licensing Authority has introduced a new online system to replace the old manual registration system. This new online system is requiring that people who have bought cars and wish to register, as well as people who have imported cars and sold the cars to other people, be present to undergo a certain digital procedure. And importers, as well as those who have bought cars, are not so happy with the process. The Driver and Vehicle Licensing Authority sought to clamp down on identity theft, false representation of ownership of new cars coming into the system. Despite a new DVLA app to ease the process, persons in queues gathered at the Ashanti Regional DVLA office say it is not working as expected. They did not inform any of us. They have not even licensed up to 10 cars this year. They have asked us to bring the importers of our cars. How are we going to look for them?
Importers no or the car develop app.
They said they have developed an app, yet it is not working. Many of us are not really educated.
The
person I sold the car to hasn't been able to register it. The importer is also not in the country. Where am I going to get his refund? Despite meeting all requirements of the new system, several prospective car owners recount spending days to finish the process due to network cuts. Some applicants suggest management evaluates the new procedures to fit their demands.
I've just been here for about 2 days, and then the process of the registration has changed. Unlike last year, where it was manually done, this year it has been digitalized, and then the process has not just been that easy. It is a bit rough because of the network challenges, and then publication has also gone down well to the customers and especially the importers association. So they are finding it difficult. First point in the airport.
Since the first point is the port, to avoid the troubles, they should synchronize importers' biodata with DVLA database.
No more synchronizing DVLA 4 system.
Ashanti Regional Manager of DVLA, Amos Abeka, confirms the office has registered fewer cars compared to the same period in previous years. Mr. Abeka has assured the authority is liaising with other stakeholders to resolve issues with the new system.
If you look at the volumes, last year it was higher than, because in the process sometimes we meet network challenges that slows down the system. Even sometimes the client themselves, both parties, one of them is not available, have to be looked for, have to go to the nearest station to go and then verify themselves. All of it contribute to the delay. Any new system that is introduced, gradually, eventually, I'm sure we'll face it out. In this new system, we are linked with customs, the icon systems, and then the Ghana card.
Any further comments?
My only other comment is that our clients, when they come and the network probably is playing us up, they should have patience. We are here to serve them, regardless of what.
Although the new online system seeks to ease registration processes, dealers, buyers and importers of cars are hoping that pertinent issues that they have raised be considered by management. From Kumasi for Joy News, my name is Clinton Yeboah.
In Accra here, I am Emma Davis. We'll take a quick break. We'll be right back. Welcome. Let's touch on one of our top stories. The bond market recorded a decrease of 52.7% year-on-year in volume traded in 2023. That's according to the Ghana Stock Exchange Market Summary for 2023. According to the report, volume traded last year was 98.44 billion as against 230.32 billion a year before. Here's more.
The domestic debt exchange program continues to impact significantly on the debt market. According to the report, the total number of trade for 2023 also declined by 24.36% from 528,188 trades in 2022 to 399,522 in 2023. Long-term government securities accounted for 32.47% of market activity, while short-term government instruments constituted 58.64%, with corporate trade comprising 8.89% within the year. On the equities market, the year closed with a decrease in volume, value and number of trade compared to the figures from the previous year. The top gainers for the year were intravenous infusion, benzo oil palm plantation, farm milk and oil.
Trade and Industry Minister Kobna Tahir Ahmed has criticized the surge in cement prices at the beginning of the year, despite the government creating an enabling environment for businesses. The current price of cement on the market contradicts the government's recent assertion of recovery in the sector. Katie Hammond describes the act as a conspiracy among producers and importers. He says his ministry will announce a series of actions to deal with the situation.
The cabal of the cement producers and importers have again conspired and decided to increase the price of 50 kilos of cement by a considerable figure. Now, I don't think that is right. I do not accept that is right. The government has provided all the necessary ambience, all the regulatory framework, a proper environment for these companies to operate and do their business profitably. I've always maintained that these institutions and organizations, these companies are not charitable institutions or organizations. I expect that they make their reasonable profit. What I don't accept is to take the people of Ghana for granted. Cement price 50 kilos already too high under any circumstances. Now, I can't understand the basis for a decision to increase the price by, in some cases, as high as about 5 cedis or so for a 50 kilo bag of 50 kilo. I do not understand. What I find a little bit more atrocious is the fact that a few companies which recently were suspended from playing any role in the industry because they were they were producing substandard quality of cement, have also decided to increase their prices. I mean, they are increasing their prices for the substandard that they were producing, or they are now increasing their prices as a price that we have to pay for them to produce quality products in the country. I find it disgusting. Of course, we are not in the command economy where government, institution, government authority, government in power it's able to tell consumer producers what to charge for their product. But I think they should reciprocate government gesture for all that government is doing to ensure that there is the atmosphere is economically viable. It is financially reasonable for them to operate, for them to make their reasonable profit. Reciprocate that gesture by being sensible with your pricing. You do not rip off the people of the country the way they do, because cement is such a it's a sine qua non. I mean, it's a product that everybody wants. All the infrastructural network in the country, we require cement.
With this on your table, what are you intending to do as a ministry?
Well, as I indicated to you, I mean, it's governments in the economies which are liberal and free like this are not able to command to dictate the selling price of any item system. It's for the government to encourage producers, make sure that there is the proper economic atmosphere in the country. But they then have to be careful how they price their products to make sure that the people are not cheated.
As we gradually phase out of the festive season, I would like to know what protein you added to your menu. Tomorrow's episode of Food Chain is about guinea fowls. In Ghana, guinea fowl meat is an expensive protein in the southern part of the country, yet a delicacy in the northern part. I visited CR72 farms at Old Tafo in the eastern region to learn about rearing pure breed of guinea fowls. You heard the chatty Cathy. That's one of the nicknames for guinea fowl, just in case you were wondering. In Africa, the modern guinea fowl species are endemic to the continent, but the helmeted guinea fowl has been introduced as a domesticated bird. That is the species Kwame Kodia, an entrepreneur mainly in the livestock sector, is currently rearing. He explains the process of owning a pure breed farm of helmeted guinea fowls.
So at this facility, we have 1,000 pure breed here. And that 1,000 pure breed purposely for multiplication. So we will breed them until they get age 20 going. And then they start giving hatching eggs, fertile eggs.
So age 20 means what, 20 days?
No, age 20 weeks.
20 weeks.
Yes. Okay. And in 20 weeks, you will get a fertile eggs, and then you put it in our incubator hatchery. And when you hatch them, we give the guinea cakes to some of our selected farmers, mostly women and youth. And then we give 200 to 500, between 200 to 500 kits per farmer, and then they will grow them. When they grow them, we will also go there and then select the male from the female. The female, they can slaughter them because you don't need much female to cross the male. So you need 1 to 4. So we will go to our farmers to collect them, and then we start another breeding program again. So when you do that, in the next 2 years, or you will get more mothers in the system that we don't need to import them, because importing the mothers or the breed is very, very expensive, and the risk is also high.
Knowing the importance of technology in modern agriculture, Kwame has established the Global Farming and Technology Institute to help boost production and provide training for other farmers to enable them take advantage of all aspects of the livestock value chain.
They have a saying that if you can beat them, join them. Because I have a little experience with other side of the world, Europeans or Americans or whatever. So you can see that in Ghana, if you want to do a production, it takes the whole year and a half to get another cycle. But in Europe or US or China or anywhere, they use artificial insemination. That moves faster than what we are doing in Africa. So to get a cash flow, we need to put technology into our agro-business.
As an astute entrepreneur in the livestock value chain, Kwame shares his role in one of government's flagship program, Rearing for Food and Jobs.
We did a project for Rearing for Food and Jobs. They designed a cockerel project, and then our company decided to work with animal production department, offering them the necessary production activities. So we did about 86,000 bears for Ready for Food and Jobs.
Okay, and how successful would you say that was?
We delivered all.
Okay.
Yeah, we delivered all.
Okay.
On records, we delivered 86,000 cockerel. First was 30,000 and 50 56,000 cockles.
Commenting on the recent brouhaha about the restriction bill on importation, Kwame suggested that government needs a sustainable plan to boost production in the livestock sector.
We need to get a sustainability on this animal production, cattle or beef, and then poultry and then other remnants. Thank you.
Fun fact, guinea fowls know no boundaries. That's it for Food Chain. Catch the full interview tomorrow, Saturday at 6 p.m. on the Joy News channel. And that's how we part company tonight on Business Live. I am Emma Davis. For more business news, do log on to myjoyonline.com. Have a lovely weekend.